and welcome back to the 2023 British Truck Racing Championship season. My name's Pointy and you're about to see some fantastic racing action as we go through the year. Just looking behind me, we've got drivers briefing going on as we speak as they're all gearing up for the first race of the weekend.
Let's have a look at the grid for race number 1 then. Division 1 starts off from the front. It's the reigning 7 times consecutive champion Ryan Smith who will start on pole for the first race of the year alongside David Jenkins, Simon Reed and Stuart Oliver on row 2, the 10 times champion in the number 7 Volvo. Jock Borthwick, new to Division 1 this year, starts alongside Bradley Smith on row 3, Stephen Powell and Michael Oliver on the 4th row. John Bowler making the step up to Division 1 this year. He's on row 5 alongside Simon Faulkner. Then Craig Reed, the former Division 2 champion, alongside Simon Cole, back in the championship full-time this year on the 6th row. And then Ricky Collett rounds out the Division 1 grid in his MAN. Tom O'Rourke, who was fastest in qualifying, will start from the pit lane. Division 2 will start behind Division 1 as always. It's Adam Bint in his Volvo alongside John Powell at the front of the grid, then Craig Evans and welcome returnee Jim Bennett on row 2. No Paul Rivett, he's a non-starter for race 1. Tom O'Rourke starts from the pit lane. Biggest machines in British motorsports. Ready to rumble here at Brands Hatch, a brand new season for the British Truck Racing Championship. There's Jim Bennett in the classic Seddon Atkinson Strata at the back. Great to have the truck racing veteran back after a couple of years away. Here we go then. Pace truck is in pit lane. Ryan Smith and Dave Jenkins, the arch rivals, lead them up towards the red lights. It's time to go truck racing in 2023. Wait for the power to come on. The pack is unleashed and here we go, down towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Ryan Smith takes the lead from the inside line ahead of David Jenkins. Now are they all going to get round Paddock Bend okay for the first time? John Bowler running up wide on the outside line. Looks like they've all made it round the Division 1 trucks. It's flying Ryan Smith who leads up towards Druids Hill Bend for the first time. We go on board with Jock Borthwick in the 32. They swing their way through and he's been hit. Jock Borthwick's tangled up with Stephen Powell. They go off. Oh, Michael Oliver's caught up as well. Bradley Smith's gone off too. Well, 4 trucks involved there. Borthwick's getting going again. And well, it's certainly first day back at school, isn't it? 4 trucks off at Druids. Let's hope they can continue. Ryan Smith leads from David Jenkins. Stuart Oliver third. There's a hole been created in the field there already. The first 4 left clear as a result of that tangle. The Reed brothers in 4th and 5th. There's mayhem at Druids, and not surprisingly, the red flag is coming out. Let's take another look and see what happened there. They charged their way up to Druids for the first time. Watch the 32 and the 3. Stephen Powell just charged kamikaze up the inside there and sent everyone else skittling, I think is what happened. Dear oh dear. 4 of them off. And luckily everybody else was able to get through on the inside. Bradley Smith there, looks like his steering was broken. He went into the gravel. That was just an over-optimistic move, I would say, there from Stephen Powell. Just charged up the inside, clipped Jock Borthwick first of all, sent him spinning around. He went into Bradley Smith and then they charged into Michael Oliver and sent him into the gravel. Here we go then, let's try again. Ready for a restart. The pace truck is in pit lane. Ryan Smith and David Jenkins ready to lead them off once again. Waiting for the red lights to go out. And we're back underway. Super start by Ryan Smith. David Jenkins moves across to protect second place, but Ryan Smith's away and gone already. He's about 3 truck lengths clear as they head into Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Side by side between Simon Reed and Stuart Oliver for 3rd. Bradley Smith round the outside into 5th position as they thunder their way up towards Druids. Let's hope they all get round this time. Stephen Powell positioning himself on the inside once again, but he's got it slowed up this time, just ahead of John Bowler on his Division 1 debut. They're all round Druids okay for the first time. Adam Bint leads Division 2, down into Graham Hill Bend for the first time. Division 2 staying with Division 1 for the moment. Simon Cole just ahead of Adam Bint there. Bint leads Division 2 in the Volvo Whites, the older Volvo than Stuart Oliver's example, as they come round towards Clearways for the first time, and Stephen Powell's off again. There is something wrong with that truck. Whether it's steering or brakes, I'm not sure, but again, it just didn't turn there going into Surtees. Luckily, he didn't collect anybody that time. I think that's going to be end of race for Stephen Powell. At least he hasn't got far to go to get spares, based on the same road as Brands Hatch outside the circuit. Over the line they go. Simon Cole might be in trouble here as well. He's dropped back behind some of the Division 2 runners there. There's Tom O'Rourke as well. He's up to speed once again. So it is Ryan Smith who leads from Jenkins, Simon Reed, Stuart Oliver, Bradley Smith, John Bowler. Then it's Craig Reed in 7th place. Simon Faulkner going well, learning all the time. His 2nd full season of truck racing. Tom O'Rourke's got past Simon Cole in the number 41. No Michael Oliver out there or Jock Borthwick, damage from the incident at the start of the race. There is O'Rourke coming through. He's eager to make up for lost time after losing his pole position. There's a battle developing between Faulkner and the very experienced Ricky Collett. O'Rourke's got ahead of John Powell now, trying to catch his fellow Division 1 runners. Ryan Smith continues to extend his lead. 2 seconds clear now of David Jenkins. Simon Reed in 3rd. Stuart Oliver, the 10 times champion, is 4th. Bradley Smith, none the worse for that tangle on the first start, is rounding out the top 5. Craig Reed, John Bowler, sorry, in 6th place ahead of Craig Reed. Ricky Collett has a look there at Paddock Hill Bend on that newly liveried number 92 truck, and it's very dark grey livery. Brilliant looking truck that is. Collett has another look at Druids. I don't think he'll get through there. Simon Faulkner bounces over the curb in the Iveco Stralis, one of 3 Ivecos on the grid. Over the line they go. The lead gap is now up to 3 seconds. Ryan Smith pulled away by nearly a full second that time around. Tom O'Rourke's got ahead of our Division 2 leader. There is the Oxfordshire driver, number 5, Adam Bint, in the Volvo White Aerodyne. Should be a Volvo Black, really, in that livery, shouldn't it? That was the first truck to use the new HVO fuel, as Ricky Collett finally gets past Simon Faulkner. Trying that for about 5 laps. And moves up into 8th position. Now down to the business of trying to catch Craig Reed ahead of them. They're a couple of seconds back on the Iveco. There it is, chasing John Bowler. Good smooth run on his Division 1 debut. He's looking to get some points on the board. It's 15 points for a win, 14 for second, down to 1 point for 15th place. Bonus point for pole position and for the fastest lap. Fastest lap of Division 1 currently with Ryan Smith. There he is, starting his title defence perfectly, as he always does here at Brands Hatch. Adam Bint continues to lead Division 2. He's the favourite for the title this year, along with Paul Rivette, if he gets his truck up and running. Had 4 wins, Adam Bint, last year. Here's the battle for second. John Powell in the number 6, the DAF LF. 6 wins last season, was only 4th in the points in Division 2. Craig Evans behind is yet to win a race. He's had a few podiums though, a consistent driver more than rapid. Made his debut in 2019. There's a battle further back. Ricky Collett has got ahead of John Bowler. Chasing now Craig Reed. It's the fight for 6th position. So Ricky Collett has closed up. Bowler's dropped a couple of spots there. The number 14, he's sideways coming off Graham Hill Bend. I thought he was going to spin it there. Just getting used to the power of his new number 14 MAN. Simon Faulkner in behind him. 3 minutes to go. Ryan Smith leads by over 4.5 seconds now. Looking set to take his now traditional opening race victory here at Brands Hatch. It's been pretty much a stroll in the park here at Brands Hatch. The first race of this new Daimler Freightliner. It has worked absolutely perfectly for Ryan, the man from Nottinghamshire, in the worldwide truck racing Daimler. Through Graham Hill Bend for the last time. Simon Faulkner, I can tell you, may have got ahead of John Bowler further back, but John Bowler having issues with his transponder. No, he is still 8th. But here comes Flying Ryan into clear ways for the final time. A perfect start to the defence of his British truck racing title. Is it going to be 8 in a row? Well, if his luck keeps up like this and his speed keeps up, it's certainly very likely. Ryan Smith opens the season with a victory. Second place will go to David Jenkins. The gap 6.233 seconds at the line. Third place for Simon Reed. And Stuart Oliver a lonely 4th. An equally lonely 5th is going to go to Bradley Smith, none the worse for that spill on the opening lap. And then 6th place across the line will be Craig Reed, but wait to see where that penalty places him. Over the line goes Craig Reed. I don't think he's got 5 seconds clear of those behind him, so 6th will go to Ricky Collett. John Bowler on his Division 1 debut 7th. Craig Reed ends up 8th. Simon Faulkner is 9th, and Tom O'Rourke will round out the top 10, having started from the pit lane. In Division 2, meanwhile, the win goes to Adam Bint in the Volvo White Aerodyne in 11th overall. John Powell holds off Craig Evans for 2nd, and a lap down, Simon Cole will finish 14th, and Jim Bennett, the final finisher, in 15th. Bad luck to those who suffered damage in that race, but the result confirmed Ryan Smith the winner by 6.23 seconds over David Jenkins, with Simon Reed over 3 seconds back in 3rd place. Stuart Oliver and Bradley Smith racing pretty much on their own towards the end of that one in 4th and 5th, and then a long gap back to Ricky Collett in 6th position. John Bowler a good 7th, Craig Reed a 5-second penalty dropping him to 8th, and Simon Faulkner and Tom O'Rourke rounding out the top 10. Adam Bint wins Division 2 in 11th overall. He finished some 3 seconds ahead of John Powell. Craig Evans 3rd in that division, ahead of the Division 1 truck of Simon Cole in 14th. Jim Bennett, the final finisher, in 15th in the Seddon Atkinson. Stephen Powell pulled into the pits with problems after that shunt. And of course, Michael Oliver and Jock Borthwick didn't take the restart.
Congratulations on your 1st place.
I don't want to. I want to go over again because it's so important to me. We built a brand new truck, first new truck we've ever had. As I've just said, Arnie, Aaron Parkin, is not seen his family in 8 days solid. He stayed in the garage. Billy the same. Libby had time off from work. Adam, just they've worked tirelessly, and we've built it all ourselves. And I want to say a big thank you to Tim and Melanie Frost at Unit 8, because they supplied us some parts that without them with timing that we just never got. So, and of course all my sponsors. I don't want to take any credit for that win. The truck deserves it, the team deserves it, and the partners deserve it. But
must have been the autopilot that won the race then. Fantastic, well done Ryan, congratulations, great start to the season. Quick repairs all round after the incident in race 1, but race 2 is now upon us. Let's see if they can make up for some lost time.
Let's have a look at the grid then for race number 2 for the British Truck Racing Championship this weekend. This is based on the 2nd fastest times in qualifying. Ryan Smith, number 1, will start on pole alongside number 69 David Jenkins in the MAN. 2nd row, number 7 Stuart Oliver, and 89 Simon Reed. Row 3, 32 Jock Borthwick. A lot of damage from race 1. Good to see he's repaired the truck. Start alongside 46 Bradley Smith. Row 4, number 3 Stephen Powell. He's repaired as well. Start alongside 14 John Bowler. On the 5th row, 92 Simon Faulkner, although I can see in the background there his truck moving forward. Has he had a problem, I wonder? Start alongside number 12 Michael Oliver. Hopefully he'll get to start this race. Row 6, 68 Craig Reed, and 41 Simon Cole. I didn't see him as the trucks came up to the grid, so we'll wait to see if Simon's there. And completing the Division 1 field, number 95 Ricky Collett. Then we move back to Division 2. Craig Evans, number 10 on pole, alongside number 6 of John Powell. Then number 5 Adam Bint, the winner of race 1, and 28 gentleman Jim Bennett. 86 Tom O'Rourke, as explained, will start from the pit lane after his qualifying times were disallowed due to that infringement where he exceeded the 100-mile-an-hour speed limit. The speed recording device was not activated in his truck during qualifying. Ryan Smith looking for 2 wins out of 2. Scored 14 wins on his way to the title last year. David Jenkins alongside him. Stuart Oliver and Simon Reed on row 2. Jock Borthwick and Bradley Smith on the 3rd row. And Stephen Powell and John Bowler. Michael Oliver alone on row 5. We ride with Jock Borthwick as they come through clearways. The pace truck is in pit lane. Looking back from Simon Reed's truck as the revs begin to rise. Here we go. Up towards the red lights when they go out. Get ready to feel the thunder as the power comes on from these 1,000 horsepower engines. Here we go with race 2 of the weekend for the British Truck Racing Championship. Ryan Smith will take the lead as they go into Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Stuart Oliver trying to get through on the inside there. He can't quite get alongside David Jenkins. We ride with Jock Borthwick alongside Bradley Smith. Looking back now from Simon Reed as they head up towards Druids for the first time. Will they all make it round Druids Hill Bend this time? Smith leads from Jenkins. Oliver side by side for 4th between Bradley Smith and Simon Reed. Reed moves through on the inside. We look back from Simon Reed. There's Bradley Smith behind us. Then it is Jock Borthwick, the Scotsman, then Michael Oliver. He's got away well. Stephen Powell just behind him as they file their way down to Cooper Straight for the first time. It's called Cooper Straight. It isn't quite straight. Up towards the left at Surtees, the right at McLaren. Ryan Smith has the early lead from Jenkins, Oliver, Reed, Smith, Borthwick. Oliver Jr. is next in the order. Division 2 is being led, by the look of it, by John Powell. There's Paul Rivett, waiting for the right time to make his move from the back of the field. They complete the first lap then with Ryan Smith already over a second clear of David Jenkins at the front of the field. Over the line they go. Let's see where Tom O'Rourke can get up to around this opening lap. It's at the tail of the field at the moment, I think. Make sure he comes through on this lap. Yes, he has. On board with Jock Borthwick, chasing Bradley Smith on the run up towards Druids. You can see the heavy roll caging in the cab of these trucks. Fifth place is Bradley Smith, then Jock Borthwick, then it's Michael Oliver in his rather battered MAN after the contact earlier on. Seems to be a bit of a damage magnet over the last couple of seasons, unfortunately. And hang on, the red flag is coming out. What has happened? Oh, that's what's happened. It's Tom O'Rourke. He's in the gravel at Paddock Bend. It's quite a long way up Paddock Bend towards Halewood Rise. So what has happened there? See if we can see what's happened. Back of the field, coming down Paddock Bend, he runs wide. Yeah, the truck just straightened up in the middle of the bend. I don't know whether something broke in the steering perhaps there. Great shame for the Scotsman. Here we go, ready for 12 minutes of truck racing. Well done to the recovery teams there. Getting Tom O'Rourke back to the paddock. Hopefully we'll see him back out tomorrow. Smith and Jenkins lead them up towards the red lights. The power comes on and away they go. Quick start by Stuart Oliver. Watch the number 7. He could get past David Jenkins here in the second place. He won't get ahead of Ryan Smith. But I think Oliver's got the inside line. Yes, he's up into second place as they head down Paddock Bend for the first time. 1 or 2 trucks running wide. We've got one into the gravel. That's Michael Oliver. John Bowler's run wide as well. Oliver keeps his foot in. He keeps it going at the back of the Division 1 group. Will they all get round Druids? Okay, Bradley Smith running wide in the 46 truck. It's Smith who leads from Oliver. Jenkins. Jock Borthwick is in 4th place. Then it's Simon Reed, Stephen Powell, Bradley Smith. Next through is Craig Reed, then Bowler, Collett. Michael Oliver recovering from that off. Missing the side panel you can see on the number 12 truck. They start to sort themselves out around this Brands Hatch Indy circuit. We'll look back quickly to see who's leading Division 2. It's John Powell who's got away best in the DAF, number 6, ahead of Craig Evans and Adam Bintz. Oh, Michael Oliver's incident pack weekend continuing. I had a bad feeling he was going to get bogged down in the gravel there, but he kept it going. Ryan Smith will lead as they complete the first lap. Then he's already over a second clear of Stuart Oliver in second place. Now into Paddock Bend we ride with Jock Borthwick chasing now David Jenkins. Good start from Borthwick up into 4th place ahead of Simon Reed. Craig Reed in behind Bradley Smith. Looking back to see the leader of Division 2 is still John Powell ahead of Craig Evans, Adam Bintz and Paul Rivett. Jim Bennett in the older Seddon Atkinson has already dropped away. It's good to have Gentleman Jim back in the championship this year. Certainly one of the friendliest teams in the paddock, the Team Bennett squad. Up the hill towards Druids, and Jock Borthwick a little bit wide there over the curve. He almost dropped onto the gravel, holds it together, swings it in. Up on the inside there's Simon Reed, and he goes through, forces Jock Borthwick to go wide. It's a good move by Simon Reed. Good aggression from the Iveco pilot up into 4th position. Down to 5th goes Borthwick in the white and tartan liveried MAN. Colours of My Name's Doddy. Ricky Collett staying ahead of Michael Oliver. Ricky Collett with a down on power engine this weekend. He's had a few engine problems, that truck, over the last couple of seasons. Had a nasty crash with it at Thruxton back in 2020. Oh, and say engine problems, a great flash of flame. Goodness me. Ricky Collett needs to get out of there. He slides it to a halt against the barrier. Well stopped, Ricky Collett. I hope that's truck is not going to burst into flames. Something blew up there. I hope that was just the turbo and not the engine going for a burden. Ricky Collett very much out of the race. Let's have a look again there as they came down the straight. Watch the back of Ricky Collett's truck here. Bang! Something went up in a big way there. Hopefully that's not the engine detonating, hoping it's just the turbo. Yeah, Yes, the red flag has come out, presumably to deal with Ricky Collett's truck. So we'll see if things are okay down there on the entry 2 paddock, and we'll wait to see what will happen with this race. Such a shame for Ricky, he doesn't have much luck, unfortunately. Well, with the large amount of oil that has gone down from Ricky Collett's truck, the race has been declared at this point. Ryan Smith given the win ahead of Stuart Oliver, with David Jenkins completing the podium. Simon Reed in 4th place ahead of Jock Borthwick and Stephen Powell. Bradley Smith in 7th place, then Craig Reed, John Bowler and Michael Oliver complete the top 10. John Powell wins Division 2 ahead of Craig Evans and Adam Bint. Paul Rivett in 4th place, and it is Jim Bennett who completes the 15 finishers in our second race of the weekend, curtailed early due to that engine failure for Ricky Collett, and that will be, I think, the end of his weekend.
Well, it seems to be a plethora of red flags this weekend so far, with Ricky Collett exploding his engine into more pieces than it's meant to be in. But of course, Ryan Smith and John Powell taking first place for their consecutive championships. We're now going over to race 3, the first one of Sunday here at Brands Hatch.
So the grid lines up as follows. It's Division 1 newcomer John Bowler who will start on pole in number 14, his MAN, alongside the Iveco of number 68, Craig Reed. Second row, number 46, Bradley Smith in his MAN, alongside the 10 times champion, number 7, Stuart Oliver in the Volvo VNL. Row 3, the Iveco of Simon Reed, number 89, alongside 69 of David Jenkins with his MAN. On row 4, it is the reigning 7-time champion Ryan Smith in the Daimler Freightliner number 1, alongside 92 Simon Faulkner with his Iveco. Row 5, 86 Tom O'Rourke had a tough day yesterday, ended up in the gravel in race 2 and broke the steering on his MAN. Lines up alongside Simon Cole, number 41, with his MAN, graduating to Division 1 this year. Row 6, number 32 Jock Borthwick picked up a fair amount of damage in a collision with Stephen Powell in yesterday's first race, but managed to repair his MAN. Stephen Powell does line up alongside him. And number 12, Michael Oliver, with his MAN, son of Stuart, completes the Division 1 grid. Then there's a gap, and we move to Division 2. The grid reversed from the results of race 1. So it's Jim Bennett, number 28, in his venerable Seddon Atkinson, who lines up on pole alongside number 10 Craig Evans with his MAN. The number 6 of John Powell in the DAF, he had a win yesterday, as did the man alongside him, number 5 Adam Bint with the Volvo Whites. And completing the grid, number 22 Paul Rivett. Here we go, the big rigs ready to rumble on the Brands Hatch Indy circuits. Jim Bennett alongside Craig Evans looking for his first Division 2 win. There's Adam Bint in the Volvo, John Powell alongside him, they had a win each yesterday. Paul Rivett behind them, the ex-saloon car star. Here we go. John Bowler and Craig Reed lead them up towards the red lights. Over 19,000 horsepower about to be unleashed. Here we go, the power comes on and they're away, down towards Paddock Bend for the first time. Good start by Stuart Oliver, good start by David Jenkins, but it's the 2 front row men who have the advantage into Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. John Bowler, is he going to keep his nose in front as they go towards Druids, and off wide goes one of our front row men, that was Craig Reed. He's dropped back, just ran over the gravel there, but he's kept it going. There's a bit of slip and slide in the pack, and Stuart Oliver has come through, as I expected, into the lead. Stuart Oliver leads in the Volvo from 4th on the grid. It's side by side for second, John Bowler and David Jenkins. Great cloud of dust in the background where Craig Reed ran wide. A bit of grass tracking there for Jock Borthwick. 3 wide through Graham Hill Bend. That doesn't work in cars, never mind in trucks. 92 of Simon Faulkner got squeezed in the middle there. Bradley Smith has dropped back a little in the 46. He's battling with the Reed brothers. Wait to see what the order is as they come round to complete the opening lap. Looks like it is Stuart Oliver who's got the lead, and Ryan Smith is in heavy traffic there in the midfield. Stuart Oliver's away and gone in front. David Jenkins having a go at John Bowler for second place. Then it's the first of the Reeds. Which one is that? That's Simon Reed in 4th place. Craig, of course, ran wide on the first corner. Impossible to tell the 2 Ivecos apart from a distance. David Jenkins trying to go through into second place past John Bowler. They head up towards Druids. Ryan Smith is in traffic at the moment. He was down in 6th at the end of the first lap. Side by side for third, Simon Reed trying to move past John Bowler. David Jenkins has already gone through up into second place. There's Flying Ryan, that's a stunning looking Daimler Freightliner, the bonneted number 1, just ahead of Jock Borthwick in the 32. But look at the lead Stuart Oliver has built up already. He needs to build a good lead, because in case Ryan Smith does get through this traffic, he's having a go at Bradley Smith and John Bowler now. John Bowler holding him off. new to Division 1 this year. 10 times champion, still leads, and John Bowler still holding off Ryan Smith, who now gets a run on the inside up towards Druids Hill Bend. Here he comes, on board with Ryan as they go round the right-hander, steering the truck one-handed, keeping his other hand on the gear lever through there. He's got through past the number 14. I think Bowler's lost another place. I think Jock Borthwick may have come through as well. We look back from David Jenkins in second place, at Simon Reed's Iveco in third. A spin at the back of the field, that's Jim Bennett, the veteran in the Seddon Atkinson, sliding off at Surtees. Just under 11 minutes of the race to go. Jim Bennett's got going again, just being lapped there by David Jenkins and Simon Reed. Gentleman Jim trying to stay out of the way of the Division 1 trucks there. Bradley Smith had to go wide around him there. That could let Ryan Smith in for an attack into Druids. Yes, he's got the inside line. Ryan up the inside, squeezes through and up into fourth place. Now, next target, a little way up the road, is Simon Reed. Here's the battle further back for ninth place between John Bowler and Stephen Powell. Stephen went straight on into Druids for the first time in yesterday's race, unfortunately. Never mind that, because look at the way Simon Reed is going. He's right up alongside David Jenkins, but that's left the route through for Ryan Smith. He left the gap there, and Ryan says, thank you very much, I'll go through for third place. Now, it won't take him long to have a go at David Jenkins. They are arch rivals, these two. Here's the battle in Division 2. It's close between Evans and Powell. Powell only half a second behind now. Can the DAF, the Dutch machine, get ahead of the MAN? Look at this, the leader's weaving between the back markers. That looked pretty spectacular. Hasn't helped Ryan Smith's lap time, though. He's lost a couple of seconds there. Well, in fact, they're all slower because of getting through the traffic. Less than 3 minutes to go now. Craig Evans still hanging on in the lead, looking for his first Division 2 win. Cloud of dust there, someone's been off. Here they come. Is it going to be checkered flag this time for Stuart Oliver, the man from the northeast? 10 times British champion, 1 time European champion. Here he comes then in the GT Tyres Volvo. Is it going to be checkered flag this time? It certainly is. There's the checkered flag. Stuart Oliver wins our first truck race of the day. David Jenkins second. Ryan Smith has to settle for third. Fourth, it is Simon Reed. Bradley Smith takes a good fifth position. Well done, Jock Borthwick, a fine sixth. His fellow Scotsman, Tom O'Rourke, in seventh. Eighth, it is Michael Oliver. Ninth, over the line, is going to be John Bowler, just ahead of Stephen Powell, Craig Reed and Simon Faulkner. What about Division 2? Where are the Division 2 trucks? They'll be coming round the final corner now. Is it going to be Craig Evans or John Powell who takes the victory in Division 2? They're coming towards us now. It looks like John Powell's got ahead of Craig Evans. In fact, they come over the line. Yes, it's John Powell. Powell has won it. Craig Evans, a slower lap there on the last lap. Was it Evans who ran wide? We saw that cloud of dust at Paddock. It was. Oh, what a shame for Craig Evans. Losing the class win with just a couple of laps to go. What a disappointment for Craig Evans. Let's check out the results of that one then. Stuart Oliver taking the win, while Ryan Smith was given a 10-second penalty for an out-of-position start. He drops down to 6th place behind David Jenkins and Simon Reed, Bradley Smith and Jock Borthwick now rounding out the top 5. Tom O'Rourke turns his weekend around somewhat in 7th, ahead of Michael Oliver, then John Bowler, Stephen Powell, Craig Reed and Simon Faulkner completing the Division 1 finishers. John Powell snatching the win late on in Division 2 from the unlucky Craig Evans. Adam Bint completing the podium among the Division 2 trucks. Disappointment there for Craig Evans. Paul Rivett in 16th place, Simon Cole a lap down in 17th, and Jim Bennett completing the finishers, all 18 trucks going the distance.
Incredible result. I completely, it's almost like I blinked and all of a sudden you were seconds ahead of the pack.
Yeah, had a great start, you know. The start at Brands is always a little bit touch and go, and all credit to the boys in front. They maybe haven't got the experience as this old lad, but I managed to get a good start, get through and kept in tight, because the outside on Paddock Hill is not the place to be, so over the moon with that.
Fantastic, Evan. So it's a good start to Sunday. Not your first trophy of the weekend, though, so that's good news as well.
Absolutely, yeah, that's right. We've got a big trailer to take them all home in, so we'll just keep piling them up.
I'll say you got a few from last year as well, I think, so plenty of room left, yeah. Stuart, thanks very much for talking to us. Congratulations. Well, what an action-packed race that was, with Stuart Oliver back on top. That's the 10-time British champion, of course, taking his first place for the season. We're heading to race 4 now. Let's see if he can do it again.
It is Craig Reed, who finished 8th yesterday, who will take pole in truck number 68. 46 Bradley Smith alongside. Second row, number 3 Stephen Powell, the local man, and 32 Jock Borthwick, the Scotsman. Row 3, 89 Simon Reed, and alongside him David Jenkins in the 69 truck. Row 4, number 7 Stuart Oliver, winner this morning, and number 1 Ryan Smith, double winner yesterday. He's got to come through from 8th this time. On row 5, it's number 14 John Bowler, number 12 Michael Oliver. Row 6, 86 of Tom O'Rourke. He failed to finish yesterday's race, went off into the gravel and suffered broken steering, unfortunately. Simon Cole missed race 2 yesterday. He starts alongside, as did number 92 Simon Faulkner. He failed to take the restart, so he starts at the back in the 92. Then there's a gap, and we've got the Division 2 trucks. They'll start in reverse order as well. Jim Bennett's number 28 in the set, and Atkinson will be at the front of them. Alongside him, number 22 of Paul Rivette. Then it's Adam Bint, number 5. Number 10, Craig Evans. And number 6, John Powell, going for his 3rd win of the weekend from the back of the grid. Craig Reed minus his front bumper after a bit of contact in, the front valance after a bit of contact in the race earlier on. Race 4 of the weekend then for the British Truck Racing Championship. Bit of steam coming from the water-cooled brakes on Adam Bint's truck. There is the DAF of John Powell at the back. The pace truck is into pit lane. Craig Reed and Bradley Smith on the front of this partially reversed grid. Can one of them hang on to take their first win of the season? 15 minutes of truck racing coming your way here at Brands Hatch in the sunshine on this Easter Sunday. The power comes on and away they rumble down towards Paddock Hill Bend. Good start by Craig Reed, the man from Stoke in the Iveco Stralis. Will lead into paddock for the first time. Good start by Stephen Powell there, just getting a bit of dust kicked up on the inside. They've all made it round paddock for the first time. Let's hope they make it around Druids. Craig Reed has the lead. Stephen Powell making a move up the inside, side by side with his old adversary from yesterday, Jock Borthwick. Simon Reed behind them. They've all made it round, I think. Great stuff. David Jenkins running a bit wide there. We're on board with Craig Evans, giving chase to Simon Cole in the number 41. They're having a few teething troubles with his MAN, known as Eleanor, this weekend. He certainly hasn't gone in 60 seconds just yet, though. Craig Reed has the lead, though. Over the curve, and straight off goes Simon Reed. Goodness me. Straight on he goes, misses the tyre wall. And it's a good job he stopped. They got the truck stopped there and didn't cannon back into the pack on the other side there as they came out of Clark Curve. That would have been disastrous. Somebody else running wide there, Jock Borthwick, kicking up the dust out of Clark Curve there. He's lost some ground. Now, was there contact between Jock Borthwick and Simon Reed? We'll wait and see if we can get a replay of that. Bradley Smith is in 3rd place behind Stephen Powell. Stuart Oliver's up to 4th, and Ryan Smith is 5th. Now, something broke there. There was no contact. That was either a steering or brake failure. The truck just charged straight on. That was a scary moment indeed for Simon. Just went straight off there. No way he could slow the truck down, and he was very lucky. There was a lot of open space for that truck to come to a halt in. That could have been very nasty. On board with Craig Evans, back in the Division 2 pack. He's currently showing us 4th in Division 2 with John Powell ahead of him. Coming up on Simon Cole in the Division 1 machine. Yeah, Simon's still just getting used to his new MAN as Craig Evans goes through. Here comes David Jenkins up the inside into Paddock Hill Bend, up into 4th place. Now Stuart Oliver looking ready to attack, but he's got to be mindful that Ryan Smith is there as well. Smith dodges to the outside. Stuart Oliver moves to cover. Here comes David Jenkins. Oh, Craig Reed's run wide, coming out of Druids. This is Oliver's opportunity. If he can get up alongside, he'll never go round the outside of Graham Hill Bend, surely. Still side by side. If Oliver keeps his foot in, he could take the lead down the straight. Yes, he's done it. Stuart Oliver leads. Craig Reed moving to cover there, but I don't think he'll stop Ryan Smith getting through at Surtees. No, Smith's going to go through into 2nd place, and Jenkins could get 3rd as well. No, Reed able to defend from Jenkins. He's down to 3rd, and it's Oliver versus Smith for the lead now. Still plenty of time to go. in this 4th race of the weekend for the British Truck Racing Championship at Brands Hatch. See how much time there is to go as they come up over the line. Just over 7.5 minutes, so we're coming up towards half distance. And here comes Ryan Smith, here comes David Jenkins up on the outside as well. Ryan Smith is not holding back, he's going for the lead. Round the outside of Stuart Oliver, back to the inside. He's driving that truck like a touring car. David Jenkins to the inside on Craig Reed. He's surely going to go through here for 3rd place at Druids. Yes, he's done it. Achievement to get 2 cars side by side successfully through Druids, never mind 2 trucks. Here's the Division 2 leader, Adam Bint, looking for win number 2 this weekend. On board with Craig Evans. He's 4th in the division, behind John Powell ahead there in the DAF. 2nd ahead of them, Paul Rivette, a better run for his MAN, this time the Napa Racing truck. The other Division 2 runner, of course, is Jim Bennett. He's been lapped. I believe Simon Reed is still running as well in truck number 89. He did get going, but he's a lap or 2 down as Ryan Smith. Oh, he tried a move there by the look of it. He's gone wide at Graham Hill Bend. What happened there? David Jenkins up alongside him. I saw something fly up into the air. Was there contact there between Oliver and Smith? Yeah, Smith's still on the wide line. Throws the truck back across in front of David Jenkins. You know these two are deadly rivals. He does not want to let Jenkins by, but he's going to have to through Clark Curve there. Yeah, Jenkins up alongside. He's going to go through. Is there damage to Ryan Smith's truck? It suddenly seems not to be handling as well. Was there contact there with Stuart Oliver? We didn't see going into Graham Hill Bend. Ryan Smith was up behind Stuart Oliver coming down to Graham Hill Bend. I think he almost clipped the back of him, but he didn't expect Oliver to go so wide into the corner. It's enough to drop him back. He's back up the inside though on David Jenkins into Druids. He goes through. He'll be fired up now, Ryan Smith. Stuart Oliver, you can see him moving to defend as they come down towards Graham Hill Bend. Is it going to be win number 2 for Stuart Oliver? This would tie the score at 2 wins apiece for the weekend. The decider will be race 5. With Craig Evans over the line of challenging John Powell for a podium place in Division 2. Here they come into the final couple of corners. I don't think Ryan Smith's going to do it. I think he's going to have to settle for 2nd place. Stuart Oliver gets his foot down. Ryan Smith will try and get up alongside. He'll try the outside run, but he's not going to do it. Stuart Oliver takes win number 2 of the weekend. Ryan Smith 2nd, David Jenkins 3rd, covered by less than 1.5 seconds at the line. And well done, Craig Reed, a fine 4th place. Further back, Michael Oliver, his best finish of the season so far in 5th. Stephen Powell in 6th, then Tom O'Rourke, Jock Borthwick and John Bowler. And here comes Adam Bint, the Oxfordshire driver in the older Volvo. Is going to come in to take the win in Division 2. 3.5 seconds clear of Paul Rivette. He's led Division 2 all the way. We're on board with Craig Evans. He chases them home. Bint takes a clear win in Division 2. Paul Rivette gets his best results of the season in 2nd, and John Powell just holds off Craig Evans to take 3rd. They were the last trucks on the lead lap. Behind them, Simon Cole a lap down, then Jim Bennett. Simon Reed should come in as well. Trademark sideways celebration from Adam Bint. Shades of Kurt Goranson, who took so many wins in a Volvo similar to that in the late 80s and early 90s. And it was Stuart Oliver who went on to victory ahead of Smith and Jenkins, covered by 1.4 seconds at the line. Craig Reed in 4th ahead of Michael Oliver. Good result for him. Good battle with Stephen Powell. Tom O'Rourke 7th, battling fellow Scotsman Jock Borthwick. John Bowler taking 9th, and well done Adam Bint, 2nd win of the weekend in Division 2. Paul Rivette behind him ahead of John Powell and Craig Evans, then Simon Cole and Jim Bennett a lap down, completing the top 15. Simon Reed did get going again after a visit to the pits. He was the only other finisher because Bradley Smith sadly dropped out. Let's head down to Pointy in pit lane.
Once more this weekend, Mr. Stuart Oliver, let me give you a pat on the back, sir. I can't believe I'm talking to you again with Ryan Smith snipping at your heels that entire race pretty much. The pressure you must have been under to keep Ryan back the second half of that race. It was so close.
Yeah, I knew he was there, but I knew Dave was behind him, and Dave wouldn't be giving him any grace, so I was sort of playing it a little bit. But no, he was there without a doubt, you know, but I enjoyed it. That's what we come for, you know what I mean? That's proper good.
Well, you join us down here right at the far end of Parc Fermé, of course. That means because we're with the 1st place Division 2 driver, Adam Bint. Adam, congratulations on that win. Well deserved.
Yeah, it was a nice drive, and I managed to keep up the Division 1 as well, and it's nice to be mixing it up with other people as well.
It is interesting because obviously Division 1 on paper is just one group and then Division 2 separately, but out on the circuit we're seeing quite a combination of position changes, aren't we, where we've got Division 1s dropping back, Division 1s that are close to the front, and like you said yourself, the Division 2s getting mixed up in the action.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, new trucks and new bits of kit, and they're having teething problems, and obviously we're capitalising on them issues they're having, and it's just making for a good viewing.
Adam, thank you very much for talking to us. Let's get you over to that podium and give you some silverware. Adam Bint, first place, race 4 in Division 2 here at Brands Hatch. Well, would you, Adam and Evie? Stuart Oliver, in fact, making it 2 first place podiums for the start of the season here at Brands Hatch, and Paul Rivett taking his first podium of the season. Let's head over now to the last race of the weekend and see if we can get through this one relatively unscathed.
This grid is based on the race this morning, race 3 with the top 8 in Division 1 reverse. So it's Michael Oliver, number 12, on pole position alongside 86 Tom O'Rourke. Finally gets a decent start on the grid this weekend. Jock Borthwick on row 2, number 32 alongside 46 Bradley Smith. Hopefully he's ironed out his gremlins from the last race. Simon Reed, 89 on row 3. Ryan Smith on the outside of the third row in the number 1. Then David Jenkins and Stuart Oliver. Ryan Smith and Stuart Oliver, 2 wins apiece so far this weekend. Row 5, number 14, John Bowler, alongside 3 of Stephen Powell. And Craig Reed in the 68, 92 of Simon Faulkner. Simon Cole, we're told, won't be starting. Unfortunately, the 41 truck, he's had some teething problems with that. And yes, he's not there at the back of the field. Division 2, Jim Bennett, number 28, heads up the grid alongside the 22 of Paul Rivett. Then Adam Bint, number 5, and Craig Evans in the number 10. John Powell, number 6, at the back of the field. 2 wins apiece for Adam Bint and John Powell. Will we see one of those two take a hat-trick, or will we see a new winner? Reps beginning to rise from these 12 and 13 litre turbocharged engines. Ryan Smith guides the number 1 Daimler Freightliner around. They're in line 2 by 2. Here we go. Tension mounts. The revs start to rise. Race truck is in pit lane. Michael Oliver and Tom O'Rourke lead them up towards the red lights. The power is unleashed and away we go down towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Good start by Tom O'Rourke from the outside in number 86. Looks like he's going to take up the lead. Oh, they've tangled, the 2 front row men go off and wallop straight in we go. Oh dear. Michael Oliver and Tom O'Rourke into the barriers. That's surely going to be a red flag instantly. Yep, the red flag is out straight away. Let's hope both the drivers are okay. O'Rourke tried to go around the outside, but he wasn't quite clear of Michael Oliver as he turned in. He comes across, there's the contact, and they can't get away from each other, and then walloped. There's the contact as O'Rourke turned across Oliver. Big impact into the end of the tyre wall. O'Rourke's truck lucky not to tip over onto its side there. The DAF pace truck makes its way into pit lane. Well done to everyone once again involved in the clean-up. Thankfully the drivers involved are okay. And here we go with our final truck race of the weekend. 12 minutes of racing coming your way. Jock Borthwick and Bradley Smith to lead them away. Here we go. Down towards that first corner, we're on board with Ryan Smith. He'll slot in behind Simon Reed as they move into the first turn. Bradley Smith trying to go around the outside. Drivers taking it fairly carefully through Paddock Bend that time. And away they go up towards Druids Hill Bend for the first time. Jock Borthwick has the lead in the number 32. Bradley Smith in second, then Simon Reed, Ryan Smith, David Jenkins and Stuart Oliver. John Bowler gets leaned wide there by Stephen Powell. Craig Reed in behind. Board again with flying Ryan Smith. They swing their way through the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend. See, Ryan has the steering wheel set fairly high there, working the wheel as he heads down towards Cooper Straight, still in 4th place. Need to get past Simon Reed in the 89. It's past the point where he went flying off earlier on today. The Reed trucks, you still can't tell them apart because they're now both missing their front bumpers. Who's leading Division 2? Looks like Paul Rivett has come through. Indeed he has, to take the lead in Division 2 ahead of Adam Bint. It's John Powell in 3rd, Craig Evans in 4th. Jim Bennett has already dropped back in the almost vintage Seven Atkinson. Here are the Division 1 leaders, and Ryan Smith's got past Simon Reed. That was at the end of the previous lap. He's up to 3rd. Now Bradley Smith's going to have to work hard to hold him off here. Oh, Jock Borthwick's gone wide, coming out of thought he was going to spin there coming out of Druids. This is going to let Bradley Smith attack for the lead. No, Borthwick's held it. That was a dicey moment there. I thought Jock Borthwick was going to go spinning into the tyre wall. Here comes Ryan Smith. I said he'd make short work of Bradley. Surely it's only a matter of time before he takes Jock Borthwick for the lead. Now that's MAN is not handling well. Simon Reed back up the inside. Bradley Smith's going to fall back now, I think. And here comes Ryan Smith once again. Not going to take him long to get through here. He's on the inside line going down into Paddock Hill Bend. No, Jock Borthwick holds him off this time. Simon Reed's going for third on the inside of the 46 of Bradley Smith. Behind them, Jenkins and Oliver. A bit of contact there as they come up the hill towards Druids. We're on board with Ryan Smith. He's surely going to go through. They think it's all over. It is now. And Ryan Smith takes the lead. I said it wouldn't take him long. Took him around a lap to get through once he dealt with Simon Reed. These two have been the top men in Division 2 all weekend. Paul Rivette further back in third. Yeah, Craig Evans has dropped quite a long way behind. He's still there. And here comes Adam Bint. He's never going to get round the outside at Graham Hill Bend. You can't do that in a car, barely, never mind a truck. He might have him here, though. On the run up Cooper Straits. Can he get the nose down the inside into Surtees? This is going to be interesting. He's going through, surely. He's got the inside for the left-hander. No, you don't, says John Powell. Bit of wheel banging. Would you want to be wheel banging in 2 5-ton trucks at that speed? And John Powell's held the lead. Here's the battle for second, and Simon Reed could be about to make a move here into Druids for second place in the Iveco. There he goes, up the inside, and he's through. Simon Reed into second place, but look at the lead that Ryan Smith has got. He's in a different league. Once he's clear of the traffic, he just clears off. Bradley Smith going well in the 46. Could he get on the podium here? If he can get ahead of Borthwick. Still these two side by side. Nothing to choose between John Powell and Adam Bint. And despite a couple less entries this season, it is going to be an interesting battle in Division 2, I think, this year for the title. Down the hill. Into Graham Hill Bend once again. Bint cuts back to the inside. Now he's got a run on John Powell. He's got the inside line. Is he going to go through this time? He's got to get it done before they go into Surtees. Yes, he's done it. Nice move. Adam Bint's been trying to do that for about 3 laps. Ryan Smith's just going quicker and quicker. He's done a 58.143 this time. And here's the battle further back. Jock Borthwick is getting more and more sideways in that MAN as he tries to hold onto a podium place. And bash! Oh dear. Tried to turn across there. Bradley Smith, David Jenkins, Stuart Oliver, Stephen Powell all take avoiding action. Great cloud of tyre smoke. And that just about sums up Jock Borthwick's weekend, unfortunately. Been a trying debut in Division 1. He got sideways there, tried to turn it back. Bradley Smith couldn't avoid him. Here comes Ryan Smith, the Northside Truck and Van Limited Daimler freight lineup, run by Worldwide Truck Racing and driven by Ryan Smith from Mansfield in Nottinghamshire, the undisputed king of British truck racing. 2 wins earlier today for Stuart Oliver, but Ryan Smith will set the record straight. It's going to be 3-2 between the two rivals. Ryan Smith crosses the line, takes the victory. No celebration at all from Ryan and the cab there. Second place goes to Simon Reed, and well done Bradley Smith, a fine third place. Stuart Oliver fourth, ahead of David Jenkins. Stephen Powell is sixth, and these two still battling in Division 2. Craig Reed seventh, John Bowler eighth. The unfortunate Jock Borthwick will take ninth. For 10th overall, it's going to be Adam Bint. He's going to hold off John Powell. Here they come. What a great fight these two have had. It's 3-2 in favour of Adam Bint over John Powell. Paul Rivette comes over in third. Fourth will be Craig Evans. And Jim Bennett completes the finishes. Provisional results of that one then. Ryan Smith taking the victory ahead of Simon Reed by 6.5 seconds, and he got the fastest lap as well. Bradley Smith, a good third, his first podium of the season, ahead of Stuart Oliver, David Jenkins, with Stephen Powell in 6th position. 7th goes to Craig Reed ahead of John Bowler, then Jock Borthwick in 9th after spinning away a podium position after contact with Brad Smith. Adam Bint just taking the win in Division 2 by less than a second from John Powell, Paul Rivette, Craig Evans and Jim Bennett. A couple of trucks missing for that one, of course. Michael Oliver and Tom O'Rourke didn't take the restarts.
Bradley, how the devil are we? First trophy of the season, that's got to feel great.
Yeah, no, it's a good way to finish a good weekend really. We tried to finish every race, but fortunately last race we had a first handbrake pipe, so put the handbrake on, which put the brakes on fire. But yeah, to finish on the podium, sorry for Jock, have a little left nudge down the bottom there, but yeah, it was good. The trucks were brilliant all weekend. A big thank you to Tim, Tom and Melanie at Unit 8 Motorsport for all the help, the shots. It's brilliant people, brilliant advice.
Tim and Melanie, believe it or not, were actually at my wedding. They're great friends of mine, yeah. Really nice people. Unit 8 Motorsport's big in Europe as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, brilliant. Yeah, we've got Albacetti, a brilliant driver, and great team. Brilliant at what they do, and yeah, it's brilliant.
Looks like they put some magic into your Ferns truck there.
Oh yeah.
Well, as you can see and hear behind me, drivers are back in trucks making their way back to their tents to pack up and go home. It's certainly been a fantastic and, let's say, eventful start to the 2023 season here at Brands Hatch for the British Truck Racing Championships. That's all we've got time for now though, so please do have a great month and we'll see you back at Pembury, South Wales.